Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta Dhage. I am from Department of Zoology, KTHM College, Nashik. So today I'll be talking about the practical study of permanent slides of mitosis and meiosis. This is a practical that I'll be conducting for class TYBSc semester 4. Subject is practical paper 3 and module is cell biology. So, before beginning with understanding of mitosis and meiosis, let's first see what is cell cycle. Here is a diagram depicting the cell cycle, including the interphase and the meiotic phase or mitosis phase of the cell cycle. Now, the life cycle of a cell begins with the formation of daughter cells at the end of telos phase. These daughter cells are smaller than the parent cell. Moreover, their DNA content is just half of the parent nucleus. These grow in size by synthesizing new cytoplasmic and nuclear material till the total volume of each cell becomes 4 times of its original volume, and the DNA content gets doubled by replication of DNA. After this, the cell is again ready to undergo division. Thus, the cell cycle is an order set of events culminating in cell growth and division into two daughter cells. It involves two phases. The growth phase or non-dividing phase, or also referred to as interphase, and the mitotic phase, or also referred to as karyokinesis or division phase. So basically, when we talk about, we are not going to deal in detail with the interphase, but let's see what happens in the interphase. So interphase is basically characterized by following events, which includes there are phases such as G1 S, which is synthesis phase, and G2, which is growth phase 2. Now, during the G1 phase or the growth phase, the nuclear envelope remains intact. The chromosomes occur in the form of diffused long coiled single stranded structures. In the G2 phase, they have two strands or chromatids each, that is, DNA amount becomes double due to accumulation of rRNA and ribosomal proteins in the nucleolus. Now, in between this G1 and G2 phase, there is one more phase which is referred to as S phase or synthesis phase. Okay, so now during this phase, what happens is DNA duplication occurs. After DNA synthesis, like the amount of DNA is doubled in this S phase. That is why you have double chromosomal content in the G2 phase. Okay, the synthesis of histone proteins occurs along with the DNA, but some may be produced in the G1 period. The synthesis of now the next phase is the division phase. Now this phase is referred to as mitosis. Now mitosis, we will be studying it in detail. Okay, so the all the organisms that reproduce sexually developed from a single cell zygote, okay, which is the product of the union of two gametes, that is the sperm and the ovum, the nucleus from the two gametes. The development from zygote to the full grown stage takes place by the division of cells. In multicellular organism, two types of cells are present, namely somatic cells and germ cells. The somatic cells are responsible for the formation of different parts of the body, and germ cells form the gametes, which is sperms and ovum. Okay, mitosis or somatic cell division is the multiplication of the somatic cells into the daughter cells of equal size, both containing the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. The term mitosis refers to the thread-like appearance of the chromosomes in the early cell division. At the time of mitosis, nucleus becomes completely reorganized. The mitotic cycle is divided into series of consecutive phases known as prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. The period between the two mitotic cycles is called interphase. Okay, we have already discussed about the interphase. Mitosis involves a series of complex changes in both nucleus as well as cytoplasm. The division of nucleus is called as karyokinesis, whereas the division of cytoplasm is called as cytokinesis. Now let's begin with the phases of mitosis. The very first phase is the prophase. Okay, so it is the longest stage of mitosis and may last for several hours. During prophase, the nucleus enlarges and the chromosome starts to condense by a process of folding of the chromatin fibers. Prophase chromosome is composed of two coiled chromatids which are result of replication of DNA during S phase. Chromatids are united by a centromere and are called dyad. As prophase progresses, the chromatids become shorter and thicker. Chromosomes are evenly distributed in the nuclear cavity. They migrate towards the nuclear envelope, leaving central clear empty space. At this point, each chromosome is composed of two cylindrical parallel elements, and they show primary and secondary constriction. Other changes are reduction in size of the nucleoli and their disintegration within the nucleoplasm. At the end of prophase, the nuclear envelope is rapidly fragmented and disappears, releasing nuclear material into the cytoplasm. The most conspicuous change which occurs in the cytoplasm is the spindle formation. In the early prophase, there are two pairs of centrioles, each surrounded by aster composed of microtubules that radiate in all directions. The asters are cytoplasmic in origin. The two pairs of centrioles migrate towards the opposite poles of the cell. They are pushed apart by the growth of spindle fibers between them. The next phase is metaphase. Now, before the metaphase begins, there is a short phase referred to as prometaphase. Sometimes transition between prophase and metaphase is referred to as prometaphase. This is a short period in which the nuclear envelope disintegrates and the chromosomes are in apparent disorder. There is no differentiation between cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. Such mitosis is called extranuclear mitosis or eumitosis. Now, the metaphase, in this stage, the chromosomes reach the central or equatorial portion of the spindle. They become radially oriented at the equator to form equatorial plate. Those fibers of the spindle that connect to the chromosomes are generally called the chromosomal fibers, and those that extend without interruption from one pole to the other are called continuous fibers. The centrioles lie on the equator of the spindle. Usually, the arms of the chromosomes lie on the equator of spindle. Occasionally, only the centromeres lie on the equatorial plane, and arms are directed towards the pole. Now, anaphase, the centromeres of the chromosomes arranged on an equatorial plate divide simultaneously as anaphase commences, and the two chromatids of each pair separate. They are now called daughter chromosomes. The centromeres move apart and the chromatids also start moving towards the poles. The forces behind the chromosome movement are not yet known. It is suggested that the chromosomes are pulled by chromosomal fibers of the spindle. The chromosomes assume the shape of V with equal arms if it is a metacentric chromosome, or with unequal arms if it is a submetacentric chromosome. During anaphase, the microtubules of chromosomal spindle shorten 1/3 to 1/5 of the original length. Simultaneously, the microtubules of the continuous fibers increases in length. Some of these stretched spindle fibers constitute the interzonal fibers. The next phase is telophase. Now, the end of the polar migration of the daughter chromosome marks the beginning of the telophase. The chromosomes start to fold and become less and less condensed. Thus, telophase is reverse of prophase. The spindle fibers disappears. The chromosome gathers into masses of chromatin that become surrounded by discontinuous segments of nuclear envelope made up by the endoplasmic reticulum. Such segments fuse to make two complete nuclear envelopes of daughter nuclei. The nucleoli reappear at constrictions called the nucleolar organizer in one pair of chromosomes. Each daughter cell gets the same complement of the nuclei at the same site as the parent cell. Now, we'll talk about cytokinesis. It is the division of cytoplasm of the cell following the division of the nucleus. It differs in plant and animal cells. Cytokinesis in animal cells proceed by the process of furrowing at equatorial region. The furrow is deepened until the cell divides. The two cells may be equal in size or quite unequal. In plant cells, there is formation of cell plate between two groups of chromosomes. The cell plate grows from the middle towards the periphery and finally joins the cell wall. This plate forms the membrane, separating the two cells, dividing during cytokinesis. The cytoplasmic components are distributed, including the mitochondria and the Golgi complex. So, this was all about the mitosis. Meiosis first. So let's begin with meiosis. Meiosis is a special type of cell division found in organisms which reproduce by sexual reproduction. It occurs in the cells of gonads of animals and plants. The male and female gametes in sexually reproducing organisms fuse together and form the zygote. If the gametes had the same number of chromosomes as the somatic cells, then the zygote would have twice the diploid number of chromosomes. This number would go on doubling with each generation. But this never happens, as the chromosome number remains constant from generation to generation. So, meiosis is the mechanism that prevents the chromosome from doubling. By series of two mitotic divisions, the number of chromosomes is reduced to half, which counteracts the effect of fertilization. Thus, fertilization and meiosis are compensating events. Meiosis essentially consists of two cell divisions which follow each other rapidly. While the chromosome divide only once, the two divisions are known as first meiotic division and second meiotic division. So, let's begin with the first meiotic division. It also has an interphase. Now, interphase preceding meiosis is important. During this phase, DNA replication takes place and it is confined to synthesis phase of interphase. Now, prophase of meiosis 1. It is the first stage of meiosis and differs from prophase of mitosis. During this phase, the nucleus starts increasing in volume due to hydration. It comprises namely of 6 substages, that is preleptotene, leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene and dikinesis. So let's move on to the first one, which is preleptotene. It is not given in the diagram. It is the early prophase of meiosis. During preleptotene, the chromosomes are very thin and difficult to observe, but only 6 chromosomes may be seen. Now the next one, that is leptotene. During this period, the nucleus increases in size and the chromosomes become more distinct. Leptotene chromosomes look single rather than double. They appear as slender threads with bead-like thickenings called chromomeres. Because these beads are characteristic in size, number, and position for a particular chromosome, they may be used as landmarks to identify a specific chromosome of an organism. Frequently, leptotene chromosomes have a definite polarization and form loops whose ends are attached to the nuclear envelope at points near the centrioles, that is, contained within an ester. The peculiar arrangement is often called the bouquet. During leptotin phase, cytoplasm contains many polyribosomes, nucleolus increases, and RNA and protein synthesis also increases. The next stage is zygotine, or also referred to as zygonema. During this stage, the chromosomes become shorter and thicker. The pairing or synapsis of homologous chromosomes begins. The homologous chromosomes undergo lengthwise pairing in which one chromosome has paternal origin, that is from the male parent called paternal chromosome, and other has a maternal origin that is from the female parent called maternal chromosome. This is the bivalent stage. Each pair of homologous chromosomes consist of 4 chromatids, and this is sometimes referred to as tetrad. The pairing may begin at the centromere and proceed towards the end called the procentric pairing. If it begins at the end and proceeds towards the centromere, it is called as proterminal pairing. Pairing is highly specific and involves the formation of specific structures that can be observed under electron microscope, and these structures are called as synaptonemal complex. It lies between two homologous chromosomes as they do not fuse completely. This complex is composed of two lateral components or arms and a central or medial element. Each lateral component is shared by two sister chromatids of homolog. Morphology of the synaptonemal complex is very similar in plants and animal cells. In cross section, it appears flattened ribbon-like structure. The lateral arms are formed of electron-dense coarse granules or fibers. These arms are joined to the adjacent chromosomes by fine fibrils. Now, the next stage is the Pachytene stage or pachynemia. During this, the pairing of chromosomes is completed, and it is a longer substage of prophase 1. The chromosomes contract longitudinally so that the threads become shorter and thicker. The chromosomes are associated in bivalent or tetrads composed of two homologous chromosomes in close longitudinal union and 4 chromatids. Each chromatid has its own centromere or kinetochore. Thus, in tetrad, first there are 4 centromeres, 2 homologous and 2 sister centromeres. During the first meiotic division, the centromeres of the 2 homologous chromatids behave as a functional unit. The chromatid is the unit of crossing over. During Pachytene, 2 chromatids belonging to the different homologous chromosomes undergo one or more transverse break at the same level. The breaks never occur between the 2 sister chromatids. The break is followed by interchange and fusion of broken ends between the 2 non-homologous chromosomes. This is called crossing over. Thus, each bivalent consists of 2 chromatids which are unbroken and 2 chromatids whose broken ends have been interchanged. The next phase is diplotene or diplonema. During this stage, the intimately paired chromosomes repel each other and begin to separate. But this separation is not complete because the homologous chromosomes are held together at one or more points where breaks and fusion have occurred. These points are called as chiasmata. Chiasmata are generally regarded as the sites where phenomenon of crossing over or recombination takes place. With few exceptions, chiasmata are found in all plants and animals. At least one chiasma is formed for each bivalent. Their number is variable. Some chromosomes show one chiasma while others show several. During diplotene, the 4 chromatids of the thread become visible and the synaptonemal complex disappears. A chiasma formed at the end of the chromosome is called as terminal chiasma, and if formed along the length of the chromosome, it is called as interstitial chiasma. So the next process is called as dikinesis. In this particular phase, the chromosomes again contract. The tetrads or say bivalents are more evenly distributed in the nucleus and nucleolus disappears. During this period, number of chiasmata diminishes. By the end of dikinesis, the homologues are held together only at their ends. Now let's begin with the next phase. This is the end of prophase 1. Now let's begin with the metaphase 1. Now again it has a prometaphase 1. In this phase, the condensation of the chromosome reaches its maximum. The nuclear membrane disintegrates and disappears. Spindle formation begins. Now metaphase 1. In this phase, the chromosomes become attached to the equator. The spindle is formed and the spindle fibers become attached to the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes. The two centromeres of each bivalent lie on opposite sides of equatorial plate. Metaphase 1 of meiosis differs from those of mitosis as there are bivalents and each bivalent consists of two centromeres and they are being pulled towards the pole. Now the anaphase 1. The sister chromatids of each homologue united by a centromere move towards the pole of the cell. The short chromosomes separate rapidly while the separation of long chromosome is delayed due to interstitial chiasmata. By recombination, the segments are transposed between two of the chromatids of each homologue. In each homologous chromosome, one chromatid is unchanged while the other has undergone a mixing of maternal and paternal sections. There is no division of centromeres in the anaphase of mitosis. Telophase 1. It begins when the chromosomes reach their respective poles. Chromosomes may remain in a condensed state for some time. Later they undergo depolarization and become elongated. Nuclear membrane is reformed and the spindle fibers do not disappear completely. By cytokinesis in animal cells, two daughter cells are formed. In most plant cells, the daughter cells are formed by forming cells plate between two groups of chromosomes. In other plant cells, cytokinesis takes place after completion of both meiotic division. Now let's move on towards the second meiotic division. Now it also has an interphase or interkinesis. The second meiotic division is similar to mitosis. There is no DNA duplication over here. After telophase 1, two haploid daughter nuclei or cells sometimes undergo typical resting stage as in mitosis. This intervening stage between telophase 1 and beginning of prophase 2 is referred to as interphase 2 or interkinesis. This differs from interphase 1 and interphase of mitosis as there is no DNA duplication. Now let's move towards the prophase of meiosis 2. This stage is lasts for shorter duration and is much simpler than prophase 1. The chromosomes undergo shortening and thickening. The sister chromatids have already been separated. The two chromatids of each chromosome remain separate except at the centromere. Spindle formation takes place in prophase 2 along with disappearance of nuclear membrane. Metaphase 2. At this stage, the chromosomes become arranged on the equatorial plane. The centromere of each chromosome splits longitudinally, forming two centromeres. At the end of the metaphase, two centromeres are connected to the spindle fibers from respective poles. Now anaphase 2. It begins with the movement of chromatids to the opposite poles. They are pulled by the contraction of spindle fibers. Telophase 2. The movement of chromatids to opposite poles ultimately results in the formation of nucleus at each pole. The nucleus, centriole, and the chromosome return to the interphasic condition. Two haploid nuclei at the end of meiosis 1 and four haploid nuclei are formed after the completion of meiosis 2. Thus, meiosis 2 is an equational division, whereas meiosis 1 is a reduction one. Now, cytokinesis. Cell walls are formed between the daughter nuclei after the completion of telophase 1. In some species, what is the significance of meiosis? The significance of meiosis is that uh, first thing is meiosis is a very important event in the life cycle of sexually reproducing organism. It is opposite of fertilization. In fertilization, the chromosome number is restored back to original one, whereas meiosis reduces the chromosome number to half. Okay, so it helps in maintenance of euploidy. The chromosome in species remains constant because of meiosis. Okay. Uh, Second thing is it is responsible for reshuffling of the genetic material during crossing over. This gives an opportunity for exchange of genes between the homologous chromosomes. So recombination is seen, new allelic recombination will be seen, and it is also helpful in impartial gene distribution. Okay, so the separation of chromosomes at anaphase is at random, so the two nuclei formed at the end of meiosis 1 are neither purely maternal nor paternal, but random combination of both. Random separation of chromosomes and crossing over are responsible for variations found in sexually reproducing organisms. Variation provide raw material for evolution. So this was all about the process of meiosis and mitosis. And thank you so much for